What if there is a hidden code governing every aspect of our life? Our decisions, successes, failures, and even heartbreaks. Sounds impossible, right? But what if we tell you that this code is real? And understanding it could unlock the secrets to manifesting your desires. Yes, this isn't wishful thinking. It's the core principle of Hermeticism, an ancient system based on 12 universal laws. Unlike man-made laws, these cosmic laws are not bound by time or location. They are universal truths, applicable to every individual regardless of background or beliefs. They offer a framework for understanding ourselves, our world, and our place within the vastness of the universe. But what exactly are these laws? The law of divine oneness. We're all part of a grand cosmic web, where every little thing we do or think sends ripples across the universe. This is the law of divine oneness. This law tells us that we're not isolated, but essential pieces of a vast puzzle. It's like every word you say, every smile you share, or even the frown you might sometimes wear echoes far and wide. To understand this concept better, imagine you're walking through a forest. You see the trees, the birds, the sun filtering through the leaves. Everything seems separate, right? But if we look closer, there's a whole world of connection happening. The trees are providing oxygen for us to breathe, the birds are spreading seeds, helping new plants to grow. Even the smallest insect has a role. This is the law of divine oneness in action. Everything in our universe, no matter how big or small, is connected in some way. Think about the last time you enjoyed a beautiful day outside. That sense of peace and happiness you felt. That's part of the law of divine oneness too. Our environment, the weather, the natural world, they all have a profound effect on our well-being. 11. Law of vibration. To understand this law, start with a simple idea. Everything in the universe is in motion, constantly vibrating at different frequencies. Everything, from the smallest particle to the vastest galaxy, is vibrating. Think about music, for instance. When you hear a beautiful melody, you're actually experiencing a series of vibrations hitting your eardrums. These vibrations are translated into sound by our brains. Different musical notes vibrate at different frequencies, and these vibrations can profoundly affect our emotions and our moods. Now, what does this mean for us in practical terms? Understanding the law of vibration means recognizing that we have more control over our lives than we might think. We can raise our vibrational frequency by consciously choosing positive thoughts and emotions. This, in turn, can lead to attracting experiences and circumstances that resonate with those higher frequencies. Law of action. Now, let's move forward to the next law, law of action. This law is like a wake-up call reminding us that dreams don't come true by wishing. It's about getting up and making things happen. You see, while it's important to set intentions and maintain a positive mindset, these alone are not enough to manifest our goals. The universe might set the stage, but we have to perform the play. This is where the law of action comes into play. Let's look at some real-life examples to explain this. Think about someone who dreams of becoming a successful author. They have the talent and the ideas, but unless they sit down, write consistently, and submit their work to publishers, that dream will remain a dream. The action of writing and putting their work out there is crucial. But here's an important aspect. The law of action is not only about taking any action, it's about taking inspired action. This means actions that are aligned with your values, goals, and true desires. It's the difference between running in a hamster wheel and moving forward on a clear path toward your destination. Now you might wonder, what if I fail? Remember, every action brings learning. Even the actions that don't lead to success as we define it teach us something valuable. They are stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. Law of consequences. This one works on the mantra, as above, so below. As within, so without. It's all about reflection. The idea that our external world mirrors our internal state. The law of correspondence tells us that the patterns we observe in the external world reflect the inner world. It's a principle discussed in many spiritual traditions, philosophies, and even scientific theories. Have you ever noticed that when you're feeling chaotic or stressed internally, your external environment, like your workspace or home, tends to become messy and disorganized? That's the law of correspondence in action. Your external environment often mirrors your internal state. 8. Law of cause and effect. Who hasn't heard of karma? And yes, karma hits back. The law of cause and effect, commonly known as karma, posits that every action we take has a reaction or consequence. This law is not about punishment or reward, but rather about the natural consequences of our actions. Treating people with kindness and respect makes you more likely to receive the same in return. Conversely, negative actions tend to breed negativity. In your career, hard work and dedication often lead to opportunities and success, whereas neglect or unethical behavior can lead to failure or loss of trust. This law teaches us about personal responsibility. We are responsible for our actions, and our current situation is largely the result of our past actions. 7. Law of compensation. The next law we will discuss, the law of compensation, is closely related to karma. It's about the returns we get for what we give. It states that you will be compensated for whatever you contribute, good or bad. When you give to others, whether it's through charity, kindness, or knowledge, you often receive gratitude, a sense of fulfillment and happiness. Similarly, going beyond your basic responsibilities and helping others in the workplace can lead to recognition, new opportunities, and personal growth. 6. Law of attraction. Have you ever heard that like attracts like? The law of attraction is based on the idea that our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs have a powerful influence on what happens in our lives. It suggests that by focusing positively on our goals and desires, we can attract the outcomes we want. For example, consider a person who uses the law of attraction to advance his career. He manifests his success, feels the emotions associated with achieving his goals, and, as a result, starts to take proactive steps at work. His positive mindset and actions align, creating opportunities that lead to her eventual promotion. 5. Law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Now, let us discuss a law that is more closely related to metaphysics. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy is a principle suggesting that energy is always changing form and can be influenced by our thoughts and actions. Essentially, it means that the energy within and around us is constantly in motion and can be transformed. For example, a negative mood can be shifted to a positive one through conscious effort, like engaging in uplifting activities or reframing thoughts. This law highlights our ability to change our circumstances by altering our personal energy, creating a positive impact on our lives and those around us. 4. Law of relativity. The law of relativity teaches us that everything in life is relative and comparative. This principle suggests that nothing is inherently good or bad, big or small, until it is compared with something else. It's all about perspective. A challenge you face might seem daunting until you compare it with a more significant challenge someone else is enduring. This comparison can make your problem appear more manageable and less intimidating. The law of relativity is a powerful tool for maintaining a balanced perspective in life. It encourages us to view our situations in relation to others and to understand that there is no absolute state in personal experiences. 3. Law of rhythm. The law of rhythm, on the other hand, is about the natural cycle of things. It states that everything moves to a certain rhythm and follows a natural flow, like the rise and fall of tides, the change of seasons, or the cycle of life and death. In our lives, this law manifests as the ups and downs we experience. For instance, after a period of success and happiness, you might encounter challenges or a low phase. Rather than perceiving this negatively, the law of rhythm encourages us to see it as a natural cycle. Understanding this law helps us to stay grounded during high times and hopeful during low times, realizing that change is constant and every phase is temporary. 2. Law of polarity. It might sound like a physics phrase, but it is more than that. The law of polarity is based on the concept that everything has an opposite, or polar, counterpart. It's a universal principle that we see in everything around us. Light and dark, hot and cold, up and down, love and hate. This law suggests that opposites are actually two extremes of the same thing, with many varying degrees between them. Think about temperature. Hot and cold may seem entirely different, but they are actually on the same continuum. The significance of this law in our lives is that it reminds us that we can change our experiences by shifting our focus along this continuum. If you're experiencing a negative phase, one pole, remember that the potential for its opposite, positive phase, exists within the same situation. This understanding can help us navigate through life's challenges by finding the silver lining or learning opportunity in difficult situations. 1. Law of resonance. Have you ever heard about resonance? The law of resonance, closely related to the law of attraction, is about the vibrations that we emit and how they resonate with the energy around us. This law states that frequencies, whether from thoughts, emotions, or sounds, will resonate with similar frequencies. It's the reason certain music resonates with us or why we click with certain people. For example, if you're carrying a lot of anger or negativity, you might find yourself in situations that resonate with that energy, encountering more conflict or problems. On the other hand, if you're generally optimistic, you're more likely to experience positive interactions and opportunities. This law teaches us that by being mindful of our inner state and working to cultivate positive energy, we can create a resonance that attracts similar positive experiences in our lives. So that is all for today. Have you noticed any of these laws playing out in your own life? Feel free to comment. Also, if you found this video insightful and enjoyed our journey through these principles, please give it a thumbs up.